Strata problem, and in this problem we're going to be calculating the travel distance and the cost for each Uber ride, and we're going to find the day difference between dividing the two, but then we're going to have to find the monthly average to figure out the error by the year month. And this is what our end result's going to look like. It's going to calculate the error by year month. This is my original solution that is really complicated using window functions. I'm going to show a very simple way. I actually don't like that method. It's way too complicated. And I'm going to show a very simple way to solve this problem. The first thing we need to do is use left. On the other one, I did it more complicated way, so we can turn this into a date that is just the month year, and we only have to use left 7 instead of doing the convert and changing it to a date format and using the month format. Okay, and this is what we want. And now it's in the month date format. So we're going to call that year month. Year month. The next thing we need to do is get the distance to travel divided by the monetary cost. I'm going to copy these columns just to make sure they're spelled correctly. And we're going to call this as, let's run this. We're going to call this as distance per dollar. That's what they wanted it to be called. Here we go. So this is the distance per dollar for each ticket item, for each time there was a ride. The next thing we're going to need to do, and we're going to call this as a daily report. This is the daily. The next thing we're going to need to do is get the monthly. So month average. In this report, we're just going to select the average distance per dollar and we'll call this as average distance per dollar. So we're going to get the average distance per dollar with, we need the request date still. So we're going to have to get the year month. So year month. And then the average request date from the daily reports. But we're going to group by the year month. And it's going to look like this. And let's run this. So let's select all from the month report. And this is going to get the monthly average. And as you can see, this is what the monthly report looks like. The monthly averages. So 7.4 is the monthly average for January. Now we need to combine these two tables, our daily report with the monthly average. In order to do that, we're going to have to use a join. So interjoin the monthly average M. So from the daily D on, and we're going to join this on the year month. So D dot year month is equal to M dot year month. So let's get the D dot year month, and let's just run this report really quick just to make sure it's running, and it is running correctly. This is what we want. Except we want the m.year/month. So we get that. And now we need the original distance per dollar, the daily distance per, and let's just copy this, per dollar. And then we need the monthly distance per dollar, or the average. This is the average. So m dot the average distance per dollar by month. Let's run this. And this is what our report now looks like. This was the daily distance, and this is the average for that month. Now, in the instructions, it wants us to now minus them. So we need to calculate the difference. And not only do we need to calculate the difference, we need to get the absolute value, because sometimes it'll be more, sometimes it'll be less. We don't want negative numbers. So we need to minus the 2 as the average. And now, finally, we need to group by the year.month to get the average. And we need to get the absolute value like this. And they want it rounded to 2. So let's round all this. Let's just run it first, actually, and then we'll round it by 2. So here is this is now the difference. So let's save this as difference. And it should actually run now. Let's submit this. So now it's solved. We have now solved this a second time. My first solution's in the GitHub, which is the complicated way. This is the simple way. And the last thing we need to do is, we technically didn't round it to 2 decimal places, but it still passed us. And let's round it really quick. So round this, comma 2, and let's run this one more time. And now it's to 2 decimal places.